The very first secret revealed from the debt clock people as we head into 2024. We'll talk about that as it's one of the most important messages that we can take from all of this as we explore. We are looking at the debt continuing to climb. We are going to hit $34 trillion in a matter of weeks, if not sooner. These numbers keep ticking up. That's one thing we can count on. Literally, these numbers ticking up in the red, the U.S. national debt caused by U.S. federal spending, which creates the deficit, which in turn causes the debt to continue to climb. We're going to see the debt per taxpayer increase to $260,000 soon. All of these numbers seem overwhelming. How can we get rid of it? Well, there is really no way to just snap your fingers and make it happen unless there is some sort of a reset and some sort of a way to wipe out all of the debt. And it's going to take something like that, which is really seems like such a far-fetched idea. But if there is a global reset, that means likely that debt will be wiped out across the board. And some people think that's what's going to happen when we have a central bank digital currency of some sort. We'll see how it all plays out. In fact, there is a possibility that that could include some sort of a commodity-based system. In other words, a rules-based monetary system. But could that just be cloak and mirrors? Who knows? But nonetheless, these are overwhelming numbers. And many of you may be experiencing it yourself. You know, we have a lot of personal debt as well. And how can we fight against that? Well, there's things and there's actions we can do as individuals for sure. But in the end, when you're feeling overwhelmed, and as a nation with our debt and the way it is, some people care, other people don't care. But nonetheless, it does seem overwhelming for sure. But what can we do? Well, the people of the debt clock, they have a message for us. Because in the end, it really does boil down to the kingdom. You know, thy kingdom come, and that's the God's kingdom. I think this is the message that they're sending us here today. And there's a little bit of things that I don't fully understand in this. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets here. And where are the rest of the planets? And I don't really see Earth here. I guess this is Earth. Maybe that's Earth. I'm not sure, but it's kind of tough to really kind of make out. And then you have these constellations here. What are the constellations? I don't know much about the constellations, but maybe you do, and you can tell us what these mean. But nonetheless, we know the overall message here is about, the center of everything, and that's Jesus, as we see here is represented by the ichthus sign, the fish. It says, thy kingdom come as part of the Lord's Prayer. And then it says, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Of course, we have the heavens around the planets here in the solar system. And so there's stars and the planets. And maybe just a representation. Maybe I'm reading a little bit more into this than what it is actually saying. So the overall message, though, is, I guess there are some things that literally are out of our control. Does that mean we should stop fighting and stop doing what we can to be fiscally responsible ourselves in spite of what our government does? No, we should do all we can. But nonetheless, we got to realize that some things are just out of our control, and maybe God is using us for part of his greater plan. So we do the best we can to help others and to also protect ourselves economically and financially and monetarily. And that is by holding on and being good fiscal stewards with our money, as well as tithing and all the things that are associated with the goodness of what God has given us, and be thankful for what we do have. And also to protect ourselves in terms of our monetary policy. Our individual monetary policy very well could include gold and silver. But there's other ways to protect as well ourselves, and that is by having a good stockpile of food, water, preparations, defense mechanisms in place, including exercising your Second Amendment, all kinds of different things here. Now, in this little infographic, it does take up the whole space here. It is a overwhelming message here that says, overall, God's kingdom is paramount here. Now, one thing I did notice on this infographic, you can see here, there's a connection here between this planet and that planet. It looks to be like Jupiter, but I'm not sure exactly what this means and what that's signifying. So it seems like to be some purpose in that, but these planets, and this is obviously the sun, but nonetheless, it's very interesting. But overall, the heavens are behind. And so it's interesting. These messages, they come out every couple of days. And as part of what I do, a new thing on this channel is I'm documenting all of these messages here. And so I will continue to do that. If you've missed some of them, there is a playlist, and you can check out those videos. If you do enjoy this content as well, because these messages do go away. They can be archived, some of them, over at our archive, at the web archive. But I'm capturing them as they come out, as I can, and just thought I'd give a little commentary on them and actually ask what you think as well too. And it's been great. The audience has been wonderful because you've been able to provide some interpretation or notice some things that I've missed in some of these infographics. Like, for instance, here with this star behind the ichthus, you can see sort of a rainbow aura around this. Could this be God's promise that he would never flood the earth again? And then after the days of Noah, could that be what that means? I don't know. Because this symbol and that image has been in a prior debt clock secret video. Some of these images we see, and they make their way and they show up multiple times, and this ichthus sign has been in almost all of them, even on the new debt-free based U.S. Treasury note seal that they've shown. This symbol is there throughout. It's been a constant. So we kind of get into the minds of the debt clock secret people. They do appear to be folks of faith. So that is something to think about. No matter what you believe, we realize that, in the end, it's about God's will for us, and he knows what's going to happen in the future, and all we can do is just hang on, but do what we can. God gives us the tools and abilities to think and take action and to be a part of the plan. So there you go. Let me know what your thoughts and interpretation of this particular message that they're sending us today. And again, I'm going to keep on giving my thoughts and showcasing these messages as they appear. This is the first one that is started on New Year's Eve, and now here we are in 2024, showcasing it here as the debt continues to increase. A lot of numbers on the screen. It's good to study this. There's a lot of data here, information. Now, and before I close in this video, some people doubt some of these numbers on the debt clock. In fact, some people think that the debt clock itself is they don't trust it. They don't believe it. And I'm not sure exactly what they're not trusting or believing about some of this. Maybe some of the data are skewed. Maybe it's not exactly up to date to the minute, interpretation, what have you. But by and large, it seems to be that it is fairly close. So I'm not sure what that is. But regardless, we do know we're in a world of hurt in this country. And when you look at the debt to GDP ratio, when you look at what they're doing with monetary policy and fiscal policy, government spending, government overreach, overregulation, the whole gamut is upon us. And it's a bipartisan problem when you really stop and think about it. Both parties have been to blame for a lot of this. But nonetheless, no matter what your ideology is, no matter what your faith is, and I think it's a good idea, and we know that gold and silver have been a constant throughout, and being prepared is also something that is a good idea throughout, no matter what. So there you go. Let me know what your thoughts are about this message, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, the Lord's Prayer. And I want to wish blessings for all of you in the year 2024 as I continue to forge ahead on this channel with the videos. I can't thank you enough for being a part of it through the 10 years that I've been in this community. So I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.